everybody. Andrea Trowski here with Dentalelle Tutoring. I have been tutoring students for, oh my goodness, about 20 years now. I was a dental assistant, a dental receptionist, dental hygienist, restorative dental hygienist, and now I have my own practice as a mobile dental hygienist, but I tutor and teach full time. So what can you expect your first year of dental hygiene school and how to set yourself up for success, okay? So your first year, first semester even, let's just start with that. You're going to be overwhelmed, but I'm going to teach you how to set yourself up for success so you won't feel as overwhelmed and you'll be able to manage so much better. And it's not as simple as just making a to-do list. I'm going to actually give you actionable steps to do, and you're going to do it and you're going to feel so much better. So you're going to be overwhelmed. Why? Because of your course load. You will have probably 5 quizzes one week, and then the next week you'll be expected to learn everything that you learned in the first week of classes, and then you have an exam the week after that. And it's not just an exam that's maybe worth 2% of your mark, it's going to be worth 20% of your mark because things are very fast paced in the dental hygiene program, okay? If you go and look at any dental hygienist, any professional dental hygienist, they're professionals, right? They're really smart, they know their stuff, they love their job. It's because we were in school, we were taught how to be professional. We were taught how to manage an extreme workload, having 5 classes all at once, having to wake up at 7 a.m. to have a full day of classes, and then you have preclinical where you're practicing on your partners maybe a day later after you've just learned how to scale the teeth, these types of things, right? So everything, you pretty much learn it and then you're expected to apply it the next day, if not the next week. So this can be very overwhelming for anybody because being in high school, being in any other college program probably, you learn something, you study it, and then 3 weeks later, you don't necessarily have to apply it because you're learning physics or you're learning some other program, right? Or topic. But in dental hygiene school, you learn everything with the reasoning to apply it. You have to apply it to a real live person one day. But first semester is all about laying the foundation. So you learn head and neck anatomy, microbiology, histology, the foundation and the boring topics, the boring sciences. And then you learn about teeth and all the other fun stuff. And then you can apply it to your clinicals, to your student partner first, and then to real live patients that aren't just your partners, but actually real people, right? I mean, your partner is a real person, but you're more comfortable with them. But the first semester is about learning the theory behind everything. You'll often ask your instructors, why are we learning this? Why do I need to get 80% in my class? Head and neck anatomy, what's the big deal? I'm learning about teeth. Like, okay, I can understand having to get 80% about teeth, but who cares about the muscles and all this other stuff? It all plays a part. You will be a bigger, better, smarter hygienist if you learn the foundations. And when do you learn all of the foundation? Is in school. So try to take school as really something not just to quickly get by, quickly memorize, but take it as really deepening your understanding of it. So then the next semester will be even easier for you because you didn't just memorize your first semester stuff, but you understood it. And then the second semester will truly be a breeze. Maybe not a breeze, but it will be so much easier than your first semester. In my opinion, the first semester is the hardest because you're thrown everything all at once. You'll have quizzes, tests, assignments, projects, final exams, and time's going to go by so fast. All of this is new to you. You'll have labs, you'll have preclinical, you'll have to learn x-rays, and you've never been taught or learned about dental x-rays before. You've never had to look at them, but now you have to know the left side, the right side, landmarks, all of this. You're thrown everything all at once, right? So how to set yourself up for success. So let me help you with this. The number one thing that I want to say is try not to be too hard on yourself. If you get 50% on an exam or quiz, talk to your instructor on how you can bump up that mark. You cannot expect to get 100% on everything when you have 5 quizzes one week, 5 exams the next week, but on top of that, you have projects, you have group projects, you have lab, maybe you work part-time. Do not be too hard on yourself. This is number one for setting yourself up for success. I'm not saying don't worry about failing every single class, but Don't worry about anything until it actually happens. If you're failing a class, okay, now it's time to worry about it. Maybe you need to seek out a tutor. Maybe you need to ask for help. Maybe you need to talk to your instructor and say, the reason why I didn't do so well on this exam was because of this happening, this happening. Can I make it up? Can I do something? If you don't ask, they won't offer. So don't be afraid to do that. Don't be too hard on yourself. Another thing to keep in mind is consistency does not mean 100% all the time, meaning don't worry if one day you're not feeling good after school, you go home, you have a nap, and you just binge watch your favorite show on Netflix. What usually students think after that is, oh my God, I have to get so much studying done. I have to prepare for this assignment, this, or I have so many quizzes coming up, exams coming up. But wait, I just took a break for 5 hours. I can't be doing that. So then you get more stressed, more anxious. But if you're consistent most of the time, not 100% of the time, but most of the time, let's say you studied every day that week except for one day you took a break. That's allowed. What about the week after that? You took a break 2 nights out of the week because you were just exhausted. You were treating yourself because you just finished 2 major final exams. You were tired at the end of those. You just wanted to take a break. That's okay. If you're consistent with your studying, say you're studying at least 2 hours every night to prepare for your upcoming quizzes and exams, and then maybe the week after that, you have more energy, less happening, maybe study for 4 hours a night that night if you don't have a part-time job, right? Because you have to manage all of these things. And this goes back to not being so hard on yourself, is if you have a part-time job, you have kids, you have a family, or maybe you're living away from home for the first time, you're going to be stressed. Don't be so hard on yourself. And then consistency, as long as you're consistent most of the time, passing your classes, working hard, you will be fine. But don't expect to be perfect 100% all of the time, okay? Another thing that I want you guys to think about is always remember your main goal. Why are you in your dental hygiene program? It's to pass, right? It's to pass and become a dental hygienist. On those really tough days when you don't want to do it anymore, you just want to give up, have your goal written down somewhere, your dream career of being a dental hygienist. Maybe you want to be like me, and maybe you want to start your own practice one day. Maybe where you live, you're able to do that. You can become a mobile dental hygienist and work for yourself. Maybe that's your ultimate dream. But how do you get there? You have to pass your classes in school. You have to pass that board exam after you graduate, and then you have to start a job. But have that goal in sight. Write it down, do whatever you have to do so on those hard days you can remember the end result. It's kind of like somebody who wants to lose weight. They want to get healthier. It's not easy to work out every day. Maybe they're doing cardio. Maybe they're doing strength training. Maybe they're watching what they eat. They're not eating pizza every night like they used to. If they don't have their end goal in mind of looking better and feeling better, it's going to be very hard to continue doing the hard things that are needed to do to get there. Last but not least here is I want you guys to create a cozy study spot for yourself. I work with a lot of students, and it amazes me how we're like talking to each other online like this, and their cozy study spot is a mess. I mean, mine is actually kind of a mess right now if you look at my office. This is a mess to me, but I see some students who have books piled up, laundry, everything's piled up. You can't study and concentrate at your desk if you have things piled up. If you have your cell phone close to you and you have these notifications going off all day long, you should set your phone to focus mode and only allow, say, emergency calls, right? Or kind of things you need, but you don't need Instagram, you don't need Facebook, you don't need emails. Turn it off or put your phone in another room, whatever works for you. Be focused, and that includes a cozy study spot, or maybe you want to create one. I had a student actually create a cozy spot in her closet. Mind you, she did have a big closet, but she said, like, Andrea, look, I have pillows in there, I have blankets, I have snacks in there. When I want to study for 2 hours, I actually go in my closet, and that's how I go through your courses and listen to your teaching videos, is through that. I'm like, oh my God, neat. Okay. So do what works for you. Create a cozy spot, make it clean. So you want to go in there to study. You want to take a break. A lot of students of mine like to listen to those like YouTube ambient study kind of music in the background. Like it's a very calming type of music. They have that in the background while they study. A lot of students of mine like to set a timer. So they'll study pharmacology for 1 hour. And then once the timer goes off, they are going to go have a coffee, get a snack, come back, and then study hour of nutrition. So timers really help too. What I highly recommend in creating a cozy spot is find what works for you. Maybe you want to buy a lot of nice different colored highlighters and keep them right on your desk. Maybe cozy to you means listening to music. Buy yourself some nice headphones, whatever makes your spot cozy. Get yourself study slippers or study pajamas that just make you super, super cozy. Maybe have a bath first. Maybe have a shower, study in the bath, whatever works for you. But don't make it harder for yourself by trying to study when it's cluttered and messy and dirty. Create a cozy study spot for yourself. I can't say that enough. But let me know, you guys, if you have any questions or if you need help. But this is first semester stuff. You're going to be overwhelmed. But just remember, every other dental hygienist out there felt the same in their first semester. I have older videos, if you search my YouTube channel, where I talk about being so stressed out in my first semester, actually in all of them really, where I would go through spurts where I would literally be crying every day because I couldn't handle it. I didn't like some of my teachers. I felt they were quite rude to me. They had these high expectations of mine because I was actually coming from another dental hygiene school. It was just really, really tough. I moved hours away from my family, this big crazy city, Toronto, which is just too big for me. I still don't like it, but I was away from my friends, family, everybody. I was going through like a rough relationship at the time, all kinds of stuff, right? But even I talked about, I was crying every day. Second semester got easier, but then clinic came and I was crying every day again because you have to get 90% here in order to pass. So just remember, if I can do it, if other dental hygienists out there can do it, you can do it too. Just have that end goal in mind, okay? So I hope this helped you guys. Let me know if you need anything. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.